What's going on, guys? It's Luke22SV here, back with the 9th round of Season 2 of the Career Mode today, here for the Austrian Grand Prix, and staying with the Alfa Romeo team still. So, the contracts went well. We've actually got a decent, I think it's 5th we have to aim for in every race now, in both qualifying and the race, which is a reasonable target. We've actually brought the upgrades to the car this day, this race as well, but so Red Bull coming to their home Grand Prix. Racing Point now looking best of the bottom 5 teams, as there's a little bit of gulf between the top 5 and the bottom 5 teams. All the bottom 5 really jumbled up together. Top 5 more spread out though, but we're trying to close in on the McLarens and the Ferraris. Mercedes sort of being a bit stagnant over the last few races, but yeah, we're looking to close in on those guys now. It looks like McLaren and Ferrari are closing in too. Red Bull trying to get back to the top as well after falling down to 5th. Which they have been sort of lingering around at the moment, down the bottom half of the top 10. So, yeah, a couple of good results. Managed to pick up a good result in France, despite it being a terrible track for us, just in general. But currently P4 in qualifying at the moment, running wide in turn 1. And, well, this is our fastest lap as well as we come towards the end of the session. Currently P4 behind Butler and both the Mercedes at this point. So, pretty much where we'd expect to be. Currently down though on our lap time from previous, so maybe not being able to improve in these first couple of sectors. So probably not, could have got a better lap altogether if compared to the 2 laps, but we come around to the sector 2 and we're still down, even running onto that curb, which has cost us a bit of time now. 3 tenths down on our previous lap, so really a lot of room for improvement, to be honest, on this lap. So we could actually have been higher on the grid than where we ended, so well, just spoiled it for you guys there. But 4 tenths down as we come towards the last few corners, and then we come through the last couple of corners and end up suddenly being up on our time, because we just made a hash of it in the last few corners of the first lap we did. And with those 4 tenths that we lost, we could have potentially been higher up on the grid than what we were. We're 3rd on the grid. I think actually we could have been on pole position with the, we combined the best sectors of each lap together. So we only ended up being 3.5, well actually only ended up being 4 tenths off in the end. So yeah, we lost a lot of time, unfortunately. Ended up being just behind the Mercedes, of course, just a long way ahead of everyone else. So 3rd on the grid though, that's a good result for us. We're a long way ahead of Weber down in P8. Both the Racing Points getting into the top 10. Verstappen gone missing in qualifying yet again, and along with Lando Norris, who's had another disappointing qualifying, and Renault's being at the back of the grid, as we're used to seeing this season as well at the moment, which is disappointing to see. You'd expect Renault to be fighting near the top really, because they're a manufacturer of course. But move on to the race then, and starting from 3rd. It's a good opportunity for another good result here today, and with this new contract now, and the last couple of races we finished in the points, we want to get a bit of a run together now, put the start of the season behind us, and really focus on getting good results. Maybe a championship fight is out the window now for certain, but can just perhaps put us in the best position for next season, and see where it goes from there. But here we go, here's the grid then, and both the Mercedes of course looking at the front row as per usual. Hamilton leading from Bottas. We're starting from P3 and Devon Butler at P4, and then you got Leclerc and Vettel on P5 and P6, both row 3, and Gasly ahead of Lucas Weber, both the Racing Points, and then Verstappen, Hulkenberg, and Lando Norris having a disappointing day, Magnussen, Carlos Sainz, George Russell, and then both George Russell's down there, Grosjean and Danny Kvyat having a penalty this time, so he's starting from the back of the grid as we start the race then. And let's see what we can do. We'd expect to lose places off the start, but anything's possible. It's a short run down to turn 1, so we're at lights out and away we go, and it's a fairly decent start from Devon Butler, who gets past us almost immediately, so down to P4. But going into turn 1, we're hanging around the outside onto the curbs, a little bit off the track there, but we'll retake P3, and now that's put us in a good position. Bottas getting a little bit bogged down by Hamilton perhaps there, so now looking for the perfect opportunity to perhaps lace it down the inside of Bottas into turn 3, and actually doing that now, and we're up into P2 off the start then, so good start then. We take P2 away from Bottas, the yellow flags there, but that's just because the field is all going like 2 miles an hour around that corner, and yeah, just put out auto yellow flags even though there's no incident there. So staying in P2 then, we've actually managed to gain a position on Bottas. This could be almost a replay of the Canadian Grand Prix as things are looking. Hamilton's flying off into the distance already. We're in P2, Bottas is in P3 behind us, and maybe it looks like Hamilton's already won this race. By the looks of it, he's just 1.8 seconds clear already, and Bottas looking for a way past us already as we come through the last couple of corners to end lap 1, and it's going to be a good way to end this race, end his lap. Gaining position off the start then, as we have a look at a little replay of the start. You can see actually Butler got a much better start than both myself and Bottas. Maybe I thought he was going to try and make a move on Bottas into turn 1. You can see both the Ferrari side by side there. We get a better exit out of turn 1 though, going through turn 2, which is not really a corner. But there we go, we can see that move on Bottas being made down the inside. We went plenty of room left by him on the inside, and managed to not allow him to get a move back on the exit of that corner. We got a poor exit as we move on to lap 2 then. So that was basically the highlights of lap 1. And now Bottas has come back at us onto lap 2 though. Almost immediately he's going to be able to make a move the same way we did on lap 1 as he goes down the inside. Is he going to be able to make it stick? Not quite. We managed to actually hang it around on the outside. He didn't actually manage to make the move down the inside and actually stop us from getting an attack back. Yeah, managed to keep the position on Bottas in. So still in P2 then, but it looks like we're going to be having to do a lot of defensive work today if we want to keep hold of a podium result. You can see those proximity arrows are going to be looming large in our on our screens for the whole race by the looks of it. So that's going to be something we'll have to deal with. Bottas definitely going to be on our case for this race, and maybe even cars behind us. Where you can see we've got a few cars behind. You can see Devon Butler still there as well. So McLaren, Butler in particular, showing some good pace this season. Lando Norris has been a bit hit and miss, to be fair, but Butler has been up there a lot. And we've had plenty of on-track battles with the McLarens, of course, this season. And just hopefully, when we come across the McLaren now, it'll be clean between myself and him. But now we've moved on to lap 4. So lap 3 was just a fairly breathing, a bit of breathing space for us on lap 3. But now Bottas coming back at us again onto lap 4. And again, the battle resumes. We're going to have to do a lot more defending again from Valtteri Bottas. So here we go. It's going to be the battle for P2 with myself and a few cars now. So the thing is, Devon Butler and a Ferrari as well in there. So it could be my teammate as well though. So there's a few cars getting involved in this battle for P2. Got a little bit of a train now. So Hamilton's gone off into the distance. So there's no chance of really us catching up to Hamilton at this point in the race. So Bottas comes through this corner. There's an opportunity here. This is where they are trying to make the move down on the inside. Valtteri Bottas going for it. Can he take that P2 away from us? We take the better exit out of that corner. Bottas not having the confidence to stamp his authority over us and just take P2 away. So now that's put him on the back foot a little bit. So maybe now we can actually get a little bit of space from Bottas. If Bottas is having to defend himself, maybe we can actually build a gap over these guys, get out of DRS and just have a smooth race. But whether Bottas is in such an overpowered car that he might not even have to worry about defending now, he's just going to come straight back at us as well. So DRS assisted is just, this is pretty much just the story of this race. If you've got DRS, you're just going to be so much quicker than everyone else, because he's just going to get that so much extra speed, and on all these straights that you've got on here, it's just so easy to gain time and easy to catch people up when you have that extra speed advantage. So Bottas then catching us up as we go through the sector 2 part of the section, and Gasly out of the race. So Red Bull having a difficult time at the moment, and Gasly retiring from what would probably have been like P9 or something. And now Bottas is the dangerous corner where they're all getting the run out on me, just trying to save up ERS and use it in the right areas. But at the moment, going through that corner, they just seem to try and just get past us there, even though it's a little bit of a tricky corner to overtake. But if they can get the run and make the move before the corner, then they should be able to get the move done on me. But for some reason, not being able to get the move done. So still managed to keep hold of P2, but the amount of defending we're having to do is costing us time and allowing more cars to catch up. So it's going to be a massive train of cars by the looks of it in this race, unless we can do something about it. But Bottas again not leaving us alone, but he's not going to make a move on the outside there. We just force him out of room and try and get a bit of DRS as well. So we've got DRS activated thanks to him just eking his car ahead of us just before the DRS activation zone. So allowing us to get a little bit of DRS and pulling away slightly as our teammate now is getting involved. So Lucas Weber up to P3 from P8 on the grid. Obviously he had a difficult qualifying, but of course his race is looking a lot better, and he's managed to show what the Alfa Romeo can do. Perhaps the performance chart that shows us that we're 4th best is not entirely accurate, because he managed to win the French Grand Prix as we go wide and have to turn left into a right-handed corner because of the oversteer we got there, and that's cost us a bit of time as well. Weber all over us already, and we don't want to have another collision with Weber, as we had 2 on-track collisions with Weber this time last season in the Austrian race, and well, he came off worse in both of them, I believe. So yeah, very difficult battles, but back in the Toro Rosso, 2 collisions with Lucas Weber, and well, hopefully we don't have a repeat of that this season, because we're both teammates this season. As we move on to lap 8 now, a little bit of space we had there, but again, Lucas Weber catching us up. And are we going to play the team game and let Weber go because he's so much quicker at this point? No, we are not. We really need to actually try and stamp our authority and get those points back. Although Weber may actually be in a sort of championship fight, but Hamilton is a long way clear at the top. So if there were team orders as they were in that Formula 2 part of the career mode at the start, in the career mode that we've got at the moment, then maybe there would be some sort of team orders between myself and Weber. But at the moment we're still defending as he goes down the inside again into turn 3, but again not being able to make the move, as we are just better at defending than they are attacking, to be honest. But here he goes, he's got DRS again. He's not going to be able to leave us alone. There's 3 DRS zones on this track, which just make it so overpowered really all together as well. You know, you've got the start finish straight, then the next straight, and then straight after that it's all DRS'd, so literally you can just get such a faster lap time, as Bottas now sticks it down the inside of Weber and takes the place away from Weber again. So Bottas, as we get a little bit understeery into those couple of vertical corners, now Bottas looking for a move on us as we're going to be pitting this lap, but that's going to be well, not helped by Weber trying to make a move down the inside, and Bottas is out of the race. Bottas has just collided with my teammate and has lost his wheel, and it's out of the race. We were trying to go into the pits, but Weber tried to make the overtake on us. So don't know what happened there, but Weber really not helping us there when he tried to make the overtake. Where were we supposed to go? Turned in anyway, and well, Weber slowed down. Bottas running to the side of him. Looks like he lost a wheel. So we'll have a look at a replay of that in just a moment's time as we come out of the pits. One of the first people to actually pit. In the end, our tyres were actually pretty screwed for some reason, but hopefully on these medium tyres we'll be able to actually extract some good pace. So we look at the replay then, you can see it goes 3 abreast as we try to turn in, and Bottas just runs straight into the side of Weber, and it's out of the race. Disappointing for Bottas, as only one Mercedes can seem to actually score at the moment. You can see Weber making the move down the inside, and we actually end up having to just to try and go around and then go back into the pits. But there you can see Bottas just turned in on him, and I don't know what Bottas was doing really. As you can see, this is where it all started from. He tried to make the move around the outside. We ended up going to the middle to defend, and well, Weber ended up going really slowly. He just ran into the side, didn't even lose any of his front wing, just lost his wheel as a few cars brushed against him as they went past him. And well, disappointing for Bottas, but there you go. That's a shame to happen to him, but Hamilton's going to be loving that after a difficult race in France. As we move on to the next lap, and well, a few more cars to pit now. Butler is now behind us, so Devon Butler, who was actually ended up being behind both Weber and Bottas, as he ended up getting back ahead of him. So maybe I didn't really see any damage happen to Weber's car, so maybe he just had a little bit of trouble after that collision with Bottas, and he ended up losing a couple of positions. Maybe just, well, not having DRS as well on me for starters as well. So he didn't have DRS. If Butler would have had DRS, probably managed to get past him that way. And well, unfortunately for my teammate, he's lost a few positions now. And our main focus now on Devon Butler, our F2 rival, and of course the McLaren that we've had many incidents with already this season, and we've had a few last season with the McLarens, I think, as well. So McLaren tends to be a magnet to us in this career mode. It's something that we've noticed as well, but we're trying our best to actually pull away now, not having to defend too much. If we set our personal best lap of the race, not the best lap either, so yeah, we're not actually looking too strong race pace wise as we were qualifying pace, but doing our bit to try and keep hold of our position. Currently a net P2 is our former teammate Albon is ahead of us. He's going to be pitting at the end of this lap, so well, he should be really. He's been on those tyres for such a long time. Don't know how he's actually managed to stay out there so long. But that's our former team for you. That their strategies aren't very good. That's probably why we left, but not because we weren't doing a good enough job in the car. But the Toro Rosso team's just not really doing too well. It tends to be towards the back of the order, hanging about with the Renaults. Really has been overtaken by the Williams in terms of pace. Even George Russell's managed to get a podium this season for the Williams, and Toro Rosso, I think they actually might be bottom. Even Renault have actually managed to pick up a few points here and there, but now Butler actually closing on us again, and this is the main problem area. Is Albon does now pit. It doesn't tend to be up towards turn 3. It tends to be towards the end of that lap, into the penultimate corner. For some reason, the AI just gets such a better exit out of the chicane before that, and tend to just put pressure on me. But it just aren't so good at overtaking on here for some reason. Don't really understand why. But unless Hamilton has a problem now, it doesn't look like the win's going to be on for us. So we're going to have to wait even longer to pick up a win in this career mode. Maybe it will come in the British Grand Prix, which will be the next episode, which will also be a home race. So that would be a track that we would love to win at. Of course, we've got a track where the AI aren't as strong at, which is like Belgium and Italy as well. So we could be looking quite strong there. And here we go. We've just got 5 laps left to go after this one. And Butler's still hounding us for P2. And so we're spending literally all the race looking in our mirrors, trying to defend P2 from start to finish, really, since we took it away from Bottas. I wonder if it would have been a different story if we didn't take P2 away from Bottas. He would have still probably been in the race, actually. Maybe even been fighting for P1 with Hamilton, who's had probably the most boring race of his life. But Butler now looking to make the move down the inside into turn 1, and looking to make a move past us as we defend, and actually being a bit clean with the McLaren there. So getting DRS because he was just ahead of us before the detection zone, and that's helped us actually manage to not have to worry about defending from him for now. But he will probably have DRS as we run deep into turn 3, which is cost us a bit of time now. Butler will be closing back in on us as we head towards turn 4 it should be. But yeah, Butler now, not a little bit too far back to make the overtake this time around. So again, still having to worry about defending as Butler almost thinking about making a move there as well. That's where we made our first collision with Weber last season, but Butler really hounding us and wanted to take away that P2, and would be some vital points for McLaren, who I think are still 4th in the Constructors at the moment, but would love to close in on Ferrari, who are 3rd. But Butler not being able to make the move here this time around, so a little bit of space for now, but surely it's only a matter of time before Butler makes a move as we run over the curb and run off the track. That's not going to help us at all. Came back on the track straight into the path of Butler. I think there might have been a bit of contact again, so it's not a normal race in this career mode unless we make a contact with McLaren, which we have just done, and we've lost our position to Devon Butler now. But DRS is straight on and he's retaken that position almost immediately. A great tow out of turn 1, and getting away with that one for now. Butler will be fuming that he's lost that position almost immediately after taking it. Here's the replay of it all kicking off. We came straight back onto the track into the path of Butler. I think, it was lucky not to be a huge crash there, so getting away with that really is a bit of a dangerous return to the track, in all honesty. But yeah, it is what it is. We're not going to complain too much. But now, just such a good run out of turn 1, and then coming up to turn 3, just retaking that position and running a little bit wide, but getting a better exit actually out of that corner as well. So good exit out of that corner, and moving on to the 16th lap of this race. 3 laps to go to keep hold of P2, and now Butler has got company himself in the form of my teammate Lucas Weber, who you can just see closing in now. So it could be a double Alfa Romeo podium, or it could be just one Alfa Romeo on the podium, but it might not even be me. It could even be just Weber that ends up on the podium. At this rate, we could lose 2 positions with 3 laps to go, although we've done a hell of a job managing to keep hold of this position since lap 1, and with the exception of losing it on a couple of occasions, but retaking it again. But now Butler really looking to take P2 away from us. He doesn't want to lose this podium for sure, because he's been hounding us all race. He's in a second stint in particular, he's been hounding us, trying to take away that P2. So we almost run a bit wide there and now allowing Weber to take P3. He almost wants to take P2 away from myself as well, so we've actually hindered Butler massively there, and Weber's taken away P2, P3 away from Devon Butler, the two F2 rivals, well, the three F2 rivals all in battle at the end of this race with just 2 laps left to go. And now they're battling with each other, so now it looks like P2 could belong to us. And with thanks to that, thanks to Weber getting involved, playing a good team role there actually, we're now looking quite comfortable in P2. And you can see, well, there you go, we're a second ahead of Weber, which means we're out of DRS. Now all we've got to do is stay out of DRS when we're going on to the last lap. But we're saving ERS as well to try and actually give us enough to defend with. So there you go, we can see the battery charge is quite high, but we want to keep that ERS as well. So if he does get DRS, we have a lot to defend with, and we're saving fuel as well. So we've got everything to defend with onto the last lap. So we're feeling quite confident at this moment. And if I was Alfa Romeo, I may be telling them to hold position, but only because I'm ahead. Of course, I wouldn't. If I was behind, I'd probably attack too. But Weber attacking us already. He's managed to close in that second just because of how little ERS we were using there. So we were going really slow on the straight. So his power track, because obviously he was turning it up, and after that attack that he had on us, he's actually lost a lot of time. Back to managed to gain a second just in those couple of corners, and now we look much more comfortable. So Weber using up all his attack there when he could have perhaps made that attack on this straight, as Rosberg and Hamilton had that famous collision on the last lap of the 2016 Austrian Grand Prix. We could have almost had a replay of that perhaps in this career mode race, but Weber fighting with Butler for P3, and it looks like Weber's managing to keep hold of it now. So it does look like it could be a double Alfa Romeo podium, and I think that might be for the first time this season. I don't know if we actually got one last season. I don't think we were actually quick enough last season to actually manage to get both cars on the podium in the time that I was there. But coming around the last few corners of this race, Hamilton's about to cross the line any moment now, I would imagine. And yeah, there he goes, he's crossed the line, he's won the race. We're going to take another P2, so our second podium of this race, of this season. We almost throw it away just with 2 corners to go, but our second podium in 3 races. There you go, couldn't be happy about that. So we're in good form at the moment, and meeting our objectives. So with that, we should be improving our reputation with teams, definitely. And well, our teammate will be happy as well to be on the podium. Perhaps he would have been happier if he was ahead of us, but we weren't letting him be ahead of us at all. So there you go, happy days. We got another podium. Weber's on the podium again, and as he was in the last race, but he was on the top step, and you can see that's a good image as well. Both Alfa Romeos on the podium, and but not 1 and 2. Hopefully will knock the Mercedes off top spot one day, and George Russell getting more points as well. Lando Norris getting into the points, so he's climbed up, had a better race than he did qualifying. Max Verstappen having a disappointing race again, considering where the Red Bull's meant to be. So the racing point of Perez having a good race. Ricciardo just gone missing since he's joined Racing Point. We're still in 7th in the driver standings, but we're closing in on those guys in front of us now. Both the Ferraris should be able to get ahead of them in no time. I think we should be aiming for P4 at the moment. I think would be a realistic challenge for us in this Drivers' Championship. I think that's the best we can hope for, unless Hamilton and the rest of the top 3 completely capitulate. It doesn't look like we're going to get a title challenge this season, unless we just go on a mad one, just do a Vettel 2013 and just win every single race possible. But I don't think I'm capable of that. But yeah, there you go, you can see the bottom half there as well. Toro Rosso are looking quite hopeless on 2 points. Renault, I doubt they'll be able to get too many more points than what they've got. Williams are getting a few points here and there, and Haas as well. Racing Point look like they could actually close in on Red Bull at this rate. But there you go, that's going to be the end of the episode there, guys. It was a bit of a long one today. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you very soon for the Home Grand Prix for myself. As you can see, both the 3 Brits all together there as well in the standings. But yeah, we'll see how it goes, and like and subscribe, and see you soon.